Jesus doesn't hate us, but he does hate our choices. Because if you think about it, it all comes down to free will. Free will is something that God gave humans, not animals, but humans, to choose if we were going to follow him or follow the enemy. And those are our choices. We have choices in everything that we do, everything that we say, every action, our thoughts. We even have, choices in our thoughts of who are we going to listen to? What are we going to entertain? And so it is righteous for God to hate the choices that we make. But in a sense, we are our choices. So God does not like the wicked. And wicked is attached to people because we end up becoming who we entertain and who we are listening to, who are the influences in our lives. At the core, God loves his creation because he knew everybody in their mother's womb. He even knew before you in your mother's womb, everyone. But the thing is that he loves us at the core because he wants our spirit to come back home. But he will find you wicked and deceitful until you surrender to him. Because until then, you are a tag along to the enemy. And that is wicked work. That is something that God does not want from us. That is something that is completely against God. So again, please know the difference between God hating somebody because of their choices. But God does not hate them at the core. Because God knows that he made a plan and a purpose for them. And he knows that at their own will, at their own free will, they have a choice to change. And he will always hope for that. But until then, he cannot find the choices that you are making to be good, and he will hate that. And until then, he will let you live that life. And this has gone along actually with the last word that I posted. God will let you live the wicked life that you are living and the choices that you're making so that you will see the destruction and hopefully come back home to him. Again, it's about the choices before the person. There's always a person that could have a life surrendered to Christ and live your God-given purpose. But until then, you are doing wicked work. And, the enemy also had the choice of, what am I going to do? And what he did choose is he wanted pride. He wanted ego. He wanted to be better than God. And God let him live that out. And then he got kicked out of heaven. And it's all about choices. And it's a blessing that we are not made robots, but we do have that choice. But we have to be very careful of